there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one comes from AITA and is titled, Am I the astronaut for applying for a long shot dream job without telling my wife? Oh. I, 50 male, married my wife, 57 female, and we raised 3 children to adulthood and have 6 grandchildren. We're happy and spend nearly all of our time together. It's a very pleasant life, but an old flame that never quite went out intruded into it about a month ago. Why? Okay. I read in an engineering trade rag that NASA was recruiting for a year-long mission in a simulated Mars base. Mars might be simulated, but the mission is real and it pays and includes room and board. So it would be fun for me and would pay the bills. When I checked it out online, I saw that NASA was recruiting real astronauts too. My wife knows that I had always wanted to be an astronaut, and as ridiculous as this sounds, I'm actually fairly qualified. I had tried to apply 25 years ago, but my eyesight made it a non-starter. So I chose a different career path. It's been fun and exciting, and despite having no formal training, my wife has been a big part of it while also running her own real estate investments, which I help her on. Now, NASA had relaxed the astronaut eyesight requirement, and it also changed the age range. And I was made more qualified by the skills that I picked up working on my wife's construction projects and fixing her heavy equipment. So I applied, putting those skills front and center. I never intended this to remain secret. I simply intended to ask her what she thought as soon as I heard anything from NASA, which I expected to never happen. But my wife saw me on my computer and asked me what I was doing, so of course I told her. I thought that she'd find it amusing or at least benign, but instead she hit the roof. Her objections were all reasonable. She wouldn't relocate to Houston. Being gone for a year wasn't the point of being married. We had children and grandchildren who needed me here, and it's dangerous. Of course, I stopped applying for the astronaut corps immediately and told her about the actually more selective simulated Mars mission that I had already applied for. Oops. I told her that I had never intended to continue without discussing it with her if I were miraculously contacted by NASA. She was furious with me for having applied in the first place and wouldn't talk to me for 2 days. When NASA contacted me a few weeks later with some medical questions, I withdrew my application. But it remains a sore point with us, and I really want to understand. Should I have asked her opinion at such an early stage in such an improbable process? She thinks so, and I am worried that I might be the asshole. 3 points of information. 1, it's not that she simply thought acceptance was more likely than I did. 2, over the years, we've spent about 10 stretches of about a month at a time apart from one another for one professional reason or another. Over the past 12 years, though, with our children out of the house, we nearly always travel together. 3, we are on track to finish up a project that will allow us to retire before this mission is to leave. This prospect did not mollify her at all. What does mollify mean? Looking it up. Passive, okay. To soothe in temper or disposition. You were correct. Candy Thunder. Points for Candy Thunder here. Okay, before we get into any kind of verdict on this story, let's bring her up.
I feel bad for this guy. I don't think he's the asshole. I think like they raised their family and he put his dream on the back burner. And now that he's close to retirement, it's entertaining that dream. And like, should he have maybe told her that he was applying? Sure. Communicate that with her, but for her just to shut it down immediately and just like shit on it, I feel like is not fair for him to want to like try to claim his dreams. And he actually, I mean, if they reached out to him for more information, it sounds like he had a real shot, but he just withdrew it like without any further communication.
Hold up though. If you found out that I had applied for a job in Houston without telling you first, I see your mouth twitching. I know. Yeah, you can't say you wouldn't be pissed about this.
I mean, I found out that you bought a truck with
That's different. That didn't involve our entire family moving or us moving away from our family.
No, I understand that. But I thought that he was saying that he would just go, that she wouldn't have to move. Did I?
Yeah, no, I understand that, which would be even, would that make it better for us?
I mean,
you want to be away from me for an entire
No,
year?
I would not want to be away. When you have kids, I feel like almost everything you have goes into raising those kids, and they've raised their kids. They're in the grandkid stage now, and life isn't forever. And I feel like if he has this dream and he wants to do it, if you had a chance to become a pilot, I would never take that away from you. I would never be upset with you for chasing that dream, because I know that that's what your heart wants. And this seems like something that his heart wants. And I mean, he's pushing 60. Like, how much more time does he have to chase this dream down? And to me, I would not want to shut that. I would not turn that. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take that away from you.
According to Ava Thunder, by the time you turn 60, like
Life is over.
Your life is over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
I'm like, your grandparents are 60.
Yeah, how old do you think everyone is? This
She
is
said
wild.
once she turned 60, she wasn't going to care about what she ate. She was just going to eat whatever she wanted. And I was like, I don't think that 60 is as old as you're
I
thinking.
think you might care more at 60.
Yeah.
So I bounced back and forth in my mind while you've been talking here of being with him and then not with him, because I understand wanting to chase your dream, but this is also like the first step in a major life change that will affect both of them or the entire family, really. However, there's been no commitment made at this current level.
Right. I mean,
If it was something they put feelers out there for,
Right.
which he basically did right here.
yes.
And if there was some kind of reciprocation of interest, and then it was time to make a commitment, yeah, I think as long as he includes her before then, that makes a whole lot of sense. Also,
I see you, Denise.
I get it. I just think that I would have talked to you about it before I did it. I would hope.
Well, you've walked things further down the road without communicating those to me before.
We're still talking about the truck.
No, we are not talking about the drug. I'm talking about other. You've gone to see, like, you've put feelers out before, and then once you know that something could happen, you'd be like, hey, XYZ, this is what I've done. What do you think about
This is what I've done.
What do you think about it? But this is a big freaking deal. And immediately she was like, nah. And I just don't, could she be upset for him not telling her in the first place? Sure. Yes. I mean, but that's a small thing in my book. What she did to him was much, much bigger. And I just wouldn't do that. That's not how I would have handled this situation.
So are we looking at an ESH here? Because I think the do you or don't you communicate it and when is probably, it varies by relationship, right? Varies by dynamic. Like based off of what you know about your partner, and you got to know your partner pretty well by now, OP.
Right.
I think you would know if you, at what point you should pull her in, but you were surprised by her reaction. So maybe with this specific thing, you don't. And maybe it's just a reaction of fear on her part. We don't know. I don't really think he's an asshole for doing this, but he probably could have done it differently, which technically makes him a 4.
I mean, anyone can do anything differently.
Everyone's at least a 4.
So you think he's a 4. I think he's NTA. I don't think he's an asshole. I think he put feelers out and wanted to know if this was an option for him. And I think just because you're married, you should have a joint conversation about it. But I don't think you have to put away all your dreams. I think he was committed to raising his family, which they've done. And I think at this point in our lives, when we're done raising our kids, and I would want you to chase something that you want to chase. I wouldn't want you to just be like, once we're done parenting, we're done. That's it. Life is over.
Let the future court consider this Exhibit A. Whenever we're older and the kids are gone, and I'm like, yeah, I bought a spaceship, honey. I'm going into outer space. I'll see you in 45 years.
If we can afford
She's
to buy
like, chase your dream, baby. Chase your dream.
At that point, I'll probably be done listening to your ass, so that's fine. I'll be like, get on,
listening to my ass.
Well, the shoe fits. Okay.
This cabinet door's a little squeaky. I get it.
Okay.
I get it. So what about her? Where does she land here? Her reaction. Which is why I asked if we were at an ESH.
I think that for me, he is NTA. For her, I feel like she definitely should not have reacted that way. So that would be a 2 for in my opinion.
Wow.
I think she had the right to be upset that she wasn't informed, but I don't think she should have tried to shut this down. That's just my
agreed.
My
having no discussion about it at all, just immediately axing it. I would agree there.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair.
So
that's not marriage.
Candy Thunder goes NTA, and for the record, I was at 4, and she's going 2 for wifey here.
Oh, my things stand.
Yeah. So as it relates to space travel, OP, let it be noted that your wife has now traveled further than you because she landed all the way on ASCOM 2.
I love that.
Just saying.